Hello, everybody. How are you doing? U.S. Army Sarge in charge, retired. Leo Naranjo IV, candidate for governor, California 2026 election. Good afternoon. How are you guys today? Let me bring this up. I'll just hold it steady as I can while I'm in my backyard doing a video. Now that we got some technical difficulties out of the way to get this thing rocking and rolling. Just showed up a video about being a KCRA recently. Oh my God, those people are funny. News media, behind walls, locked fences, locked gates, squawk box, call box. In order to be able to contact somebody, you just can't drop stuff off now. You got to mail it. And that's a sure way to make sure that, that's a sure way to find out that they never get it, because they're never going to post it, comment to it, or anything else. God bless the media here in Sacramento. They're doing their best they can to sauce up the Democrat candidates, aren't they? And even pump up a few of the Republican candidates. Only two. For those of you waiting on the big list, that's going to come out on the 26th. I believe that's tomorrow. But for those of us who are already on the list, we've been in receipt of our email from the Secretary of State already. So we already know who's in and who's not in based on that email contact. So that's interesting. A little breezy here. Temperature's about 80 degrees. Very sunny here in Elk Grove. Gotta love it. Things are rocking and rolling. Cleared some space, and now we're here. A couple of things I'd like to talk about. Number one, for the GOP, the Republican Party, the state Republican Party here in California. You guys always profess to want good candidates. Well, you got one right here. You guys always profess that we need to step up and step out of the comfort zone to run for elections. You got one right here. And you guys always profess that you should be expounding Republican views and Republican goals, agendas, ideas, however you want to call it. So my question to you folks in the GOP is, what the hell do you do with a candidate who's running near the top of the polls that keeps pushing and pressing non-party preference candidates, the NPP folks, to the forefront? What do you say to that Republican candidate that wants to see more MPP candidates on a debate stage, as opposed to other Republican candidates to be on that same stage? Now, I've brought this up to somebody running in the campaign on the race this year, and God bless them. Their little heart sweet as can be. Well, you know, we need to have the NPP voters. Yeah, Republicans need a lot of votes. They need MPP, they need Republicans, definitely. And they also need a few Democrats cross over. I get that. But if you want to stump for MPP candidates, well, hell, bring them into the GOP convention. Let them stump. We need their votes, right? Why are they excluded from that proceeding? Why are they excluded from GOP conventions, meetings, or other items of interest that the Republican Party does in this state? You need to get Democrat votes too. What the hell? You going to bring in Democrat candidates to the GOP convention this April? Let them do their spiel so we can try and convince them to vote for us? There's a reason why they're no party preference candidates. They don't affiliate with Democrats or Republicans. They don't follow the platform, folks. And when you have a number one or a number two candidate on the Republican side stumping for them, Mr. Hilton, as you are for Ms. Kaladi, there's an issue. Now, way back when Spencer Pratt in the LA area decided he wanted to run for mayor of LA because he's pissed off, his house burnt up like many people down there in Palisades. Nothing's moving, nothing's getting cleaned off, built back up, zero. Karen Bass is a complete joke and a waste of time. Yeah, I agree. But evidently the inside track is she's a political powerhouse down there. GOP can't do much against her. Got somebody running in that race. Young lady that kind of embraces Islam, has an Islamic name. Top of the head, I don't remember what it is because I'm not tracking a mayoral race like that. But most recently, we have a non-party preference candidate who seems to be in bed with Karen Bass, trying to wheel and deal her way into certain things happening. One of those is that Mr. Pratt is going to be thrown out or asked to drop the mayor race of LA and move to the Palisades race that has yet to be carved off from the Los Angeles area in total. There's some fanciful words for that, but in short, they just want to make that area a new city, burden itself with taxation. That's how they'll pay for it. Interesting. Seems like you'd have to get some support from the state level to do some of that, huh? Ergo, Mr. Hilton helping out that cause. Committing to helping out that cause to whatever degree he is, and you, those members of his golden shower ticket, are just as culpable as he is. Because if you're on that freaking ticket, that means you agree with where he's going. I'll get to that in a second, Mr. Gates. So Rick Caruso, the big billionaire, the big mogul, my God, you see him walking around. He looks like the owner of the pet poodle called Matt Mahan. Seen a couple of his podcasts recently. Insert hand, sock puppet, move lips, Matt talks, Caruso wiggles his fingers. You know the visual I'm talking about. Saw that in a couple of podcasts. Don't see that anymore because it must have gotten out that he looks like a complete anal retentive. He's supposed to be getting interviewed, and Caruso's doing most of the talking. Matt Mahan just sitting there like the poodle waiting to get scratched behind his ear. That's the best you can do. The tech bros are popping up Matt full of money. Wonder why that is. Did he piss off the minority candidates in the Democratic Party? Of course he did. That's why he scrubbed the event. I still believe it's because Mr. Bianco wouldn't show up, but that's just me, given his history of attending debates. Seems to be very squirrely trying to show up for one. But anyway, back to my point at hand. So Ms. Colati is doing her best to help out Karen Bass figure out, A, how to get rid of Spencer Pratt, B, how to make it a two-woman race, Islamist versus Bass, C, here's the promissory, if you give me this, I'll give you that, and I'll ensure, I think that was the word used, I could be wrong, have to listen to that forum again. I'll give you Rick Caruso as city manager of LA. If you separate Palisades away from Los Angeles and make it its own city. Unincorporated, of course. That's awful interesting. Steve, are you party of this mess? Do you sign on to it? Do you agree with it? Because it looked like you did on that forum that you were on. That's some shady, crooked shit, pardon my French. Spencer Pratt, are you aware that that's going on around you and behind your back? Or are you party to it? You just haven't said anything because you'd be embarrassed if you did. I'm thinking that you're probably not aware of it, but you're getting ready to get shocked when you find out. Caruso is a city manager. Oh my God. Do you know what city managers do? I don't care how many people you think you have on a city council that you believe controls things. I've witnessed that firsthand in Ileton with their 5 to 6 member board who thought they controlled things too. Come to find out, they don't control jack shit. It's the city manager that runs their show. Imagine what the city manager could be running in Los Angeles. And that's an unelected official. That's some warning signs there for you people down south. Because, hey, Americans have a long history. We just have a short time frame of memory span. I tell you something today, you're going to forget about it by Monday. unless it's repetitious. So there's that. Now, to the Matt Gaetz thing. Mr. Gaetz, you're on the golden shower ticket with Mr. Hilton and a bevy of other people there because you're running for the Attorney General of the state of California. And you seem to be the only Republican running, so you might get it, even with your checkered history. Dr. Pepper. Sabor. Anyway, you might pull some strings to get that position. See what happens in November if you're unchallenged. But the Attorney General of California is an elected position. Just like Mr. Bonta is an elected official. You would be too. The thought behind that position is that you would uphold the law evenly throughout the state. I don't believe the thought process behind that position is that you would be the lapdog to the governor to do what he or she wanted to provide all the political cover needed in case he or she stepped on it. But in that forum last night, that sure as hell did sure sounded like that's what Mr. Hilton's looking for, is a puppy to do his bidding. Another red flag. You don't think we already have that now? Newsom barks, Bonta jumps, and now you want to replace it with Hilton barks, Gaetz jumps? What the hell's going on here? We haven't had the ability to vet out the Republican candidates at all. Forums, niceties, platitudes. Be nice, Leo. Don't be argumentative. Don't go on the attack. It's not Reagan-esque. Don't do this. Don't do that. Protect, protect, protect. As they're being hustled through the system. But are they being hustled through the system for our benefit or for their benefit? Because I really could not subscribe to a governor that makes the AG his lapdog to do stuff because the governor said so. I want to do this. Find a way to make up the paperwork that gives me the cover to do it or gives me the legal basis to get it done. Bonta does that now for Newsom. You don't see that there's a problem with that optic? Oh, Leo, if you're a governor and let's say you won and you were governor and Gaetz was there and he's pissed off at you, now what are you going to do? Nothing. As long as he does his job, nothing. He'll check me when I'm wrong, he'll congratulate me when I'm right, and he'll scold me if I'm crossing the line or getting close to it. And I'll do the same. If he starts abusing his authority, well, I can't remove him because he's an elected official, but I sure as hell can call for his removal. I sure as hell could impede his movements at taxpayer expense. Oh, I could do a lot of things to his office. Couldn't do much to him, but I would not expect him to be my lapdog either. I would expect him as the AG to conduct himself for the benefit of the citizens of this state legally and across the board fairly. Doesn't sound that that's what Mr. Hilton is looking for on his golden shower ticket. Mr. Romero, you're just as bad because you're culpable in that BS too. With the controller, Mr. Herb, Mr. Gaetz, and Ms. Romero, all of you seem to be getting gathered together to figure out a way on how to override our Constitution, amend it, using the words of Steve Hilton from the Pat Nixon moment. Because we have to look at this as an option. You have to look at this as an option. To amend our Constitution to allow that man to declare bankruptcy in California so that we can fix our pension problem. Well, the lieutenant governor would stump for it, Ms. Romero. The controller would make it happen by shifting some numbers, and the AG would protect it by making the legal declarations in favor of, while Mr. Hilton conducted to ruin and pretty much destroy what's left of California when Gavin's done with it. Now, this forum I keep referencing to, I'm going to highlight it again tomorrow, if not tonight. You can listen to it to yourself. I've heard it a couple times already, kind of nauseating, but I've listened to it. I said this in 2023. To be a good candidate, you have to believe in what you're saying. You have to, with conviction, know what you're talking about. You have to, with conviction, be able to relate your point of reference to the people that you're talking to. You have to be open and honest with them. We call that transparency today. Little truth is what folks want to hear, or so they say. That's the goal. But I believe I heard on that forum Mr. Hilton say we have two faces that we put on, which is kind of true to a degree, but you're campaigning. So it's not a good optics when you say that you read a script for the audience because that's what they want to hear, but this is what you're going to do in spite of what you've just said. That's called doublespeak and bullshit. Other people would outright call you a liar, but that's alleged, and, I'm not other people. I'm just me. I've been up in front of quite a few crowds. Been in quite a few forums. Got jumped on by a couple of them. The California Patriots Project people and their tender mercies. Oh, they were not so tender. They sure as hell weren't merciful, and they attacked relentlessly. And I held my own, and I didn't doublespeak jack diddly towards them. Same, where I'm coming from, and each and every time I have spoken. From the heart, from my experiences, from what people have already lived through, experienced, or are getting ready to go through if they haven't already. Friends, family, loved ones probably have gone through exactly what I'm telling you that you're getting ready to have happen to you if this state doesn't make changes. You got half a city down there in LA burnt up, still unreplenished. What do you think's happening? Billionaires supposedly leaving. Oh, only a few billionaires, because some other ones aren't doing jack. They're running for office. They're trying to buy their way in, Mr. Steyer. Remember, though, until you get to the $140 million of self-funded levels, what you're doing amounts to jack diddly. Carly Fiorina has you beat. She tried to buy her way into the governorship with $140 million and failed. You're only up to what, 68, 78? Got a long way to go, sir. Keep pumping it out, though. I'm sure the economy appreciates it. The billionaire's tax, what are you freaking out about? It hasn't even made the ballot. And if it does, why aren't you putting money towards fending it off instead of running away? Good thing you guys weren't around in World War II. Hell, you would have ran away from the beaches of Normandy, while others charged forward to fix the problem. Mr. Grinnell, he's hosting a Republican debate with Chad Bianco and Steve Hilton. Well, that'll be interesting. A grifter putting up those two to do what? It'll be the first time in history they've been on the same stage together, it seems. Two white guys. While we're at it, let's play that race card again. Two white guys getting ready to be propped up by Mr. Grinnell, who now lives in Florida because he took his cowardly ass out of the state when things got rough to make his millions and billions over there, instead of fight to keep whatever it was he was doing over here. I've got no love for the man. I hope he stays in Florida. God bless you. Be their citizen. Be their problem. Help that state. But you should stay out of California and stay out of our business. You ran away, but you didn't help do anything. I would almost dare say you probably helped cause some of the problems we have. Hard to say, though, with this uniparty thing going around, everybody making accusations, hell, people changing their party affiliations. I can't run as a Democrat, so I'll flop to a Republican, pretend I'm one of them, get into office, put on my real pants, and be who I am, or who I was originally. Republicans do it, Democrats do it, independents do it. Everybody's done it so often, we don't even know who the hell is who in our party anymore. There's about 30-some-odd million people that would agree with me to some point of that description, because what's the word of the day? The uniparty in California. Can't trust the Democrats, and sure as hell can't trust the Republicans, and vice versa, depending on who you give that argument to. Why is that? Because everybody keeps changing party affiliation just so they can run in office. And the few errant playboys who run for office just so they can become a delegate, by getting the aficionado status, delegate status, they got in. They were never going to win. Your 8-year-old runs against a Nancy Pelosi type. Do you honestly think that was even a shot? No, that was purposeful. He just wanted to be able to show up to the conventions, cast a vote for something, see what you could do inside the party. Hobnob with the rich and the famous, hobnob with the not so rich and the famous, hobnob with the people who pretend they're rich and famous. That's all you were trying to do. Ms. Zavala got mailed some information dealing with Mr. Waltz from the Chevron department on a letter that I sent to him and to Assemblyman Speaker Rivas in the Sacramento, California State Legislature. Since September of 2024, the 10th of September of last year, when the first emails came out of Arizona and Nevada, on how effed up California was with their current fuel policies, and here we are today. 3 attempts by me to alleviate that problem, but not being rich, famous, and powerful, the rich, famous, and powerful don't really want to hear from people like me on obvious solutions, because they're either too arrogant or they don't believe that poor people have ideas to fix rich people's problems. Let me give you a hint, rich people. When your air is cut off from your lungs, you die. When your blood pours out in a large volume, you pass. Somebody throws you into a lake and you can't swim, you drown, just like everybody else. So you're not special because you got money. I think that the OnlyFans guy just proved that. 40-some-odd-year-old died from cancer. Wow. But he was a billionaire. My goodness, he was just like any other poor person with a disease. Billions didn't do jack shit for him, did it? Came up with the solution for your dilemma in the oil industry. Ignored by the petroleum folks. Ignored by the oil producing folks, by the refining folks. Everybody only wants to talk to the rich and famous because you think the rich and famous are impressive. They're not. Well, Leo, they got successful businesses with their money. Look at how many people are running businesses that are now in the legislature playing with our money. And what are they doing with it? Sure as all aren't being financially prudent. They're pooching and screwing at every chance they get. How can we acquire more of our tax dollars at our expense and their enrichment? Everybody should ooh and ah when a rich person walks by. Ooh, they make money, they pay the bills in California. One person pays a good portion of the bills, and a lot of other broke asses contribute as well. Well, if all of them left, we would have a financial problem. Hey, if all of them left, goodbye, good night, good luck, and good riddance. You have so much money that instead of pouring into campaigns to help fight the debacle you're running from, you'd rather pick up your toys and run along with your wealth to bitch and moan on the other side of the fence until people like me with the galls, the gumptions, but without the financial backing that you rich people have to fight back and maybe win so that you can safely come back and plunder again where you've been before. Yeah, okay. If you say so. First and foremost, I'm running for the citizens of this state. Unlike some no party preference individuals, they're running to try and bring rich people back to the state. They're trying to bring the billionaires back to the state so they cannot pay certain amounts of taxes. Anybody comes back to the state, God bless them. That's on them. But I'm not fighting to bring them back. I'm fighting for the people who are here that have no options left. They can't leave. They can't flee. All they can do is lose and be broken. If you had the ability to leave, would you have gone already? Minus family, minus your ties, minus your kids, minus your job, would you have left? Let's be honest. You damn skippy you would have. Long time ago. Problem with constantly running, ladies and gentlemen, is at what point do you stop running and start turning around and fighting back? Certain people on the candidate trail right now are talking about, oh, let's suspend the gas tax. Fight to suspend the gas tax. Why? Suspend it just means it's going to be imposed later. How about we remove it, end it, replace it, delete it, or anything of that nature? That's what I'm about. Well, Leo, you just can't, as a governor, arbitrarily do away with a tax. Okay. You can't arbitrarily get rid of a law. Okay, if you say so. Got all kinds of precedents set by Gino Gavin on what can and can't be done as a governor. Either we can do it based on his experiences, or somebody's been lying to us for the last 7 years. But I'm not going to do anything less than what he's tried to do, or accomplished, or passed, or did. Hell, I might even bring in a few new things, too. They'll get challenged, and when they do, great. That's what the court system's for. God bless you. Hey, you got rights, so do we. Minority candidates didn't get on stage. Mr. Grinnell's getting ready to have two older white men, on a stage. Why, damn it, I want to play the race card, too. There's no Hispanics on that stage. There's no Hispanic representation on that stage. I represent the Hispanic community too, since I are one. I are one? Yeah, that's a pun. Yeah, I should be on that stage representing the Hispanic communities. Why not? If you're not racist, it should be a go ahead, let's do it thing. I'd love to be on the stage with those two gentlemen. They wouldn't want to be on the stage with me, but I'd love to be on the stage with them because they know what would happen. Minus their thousands of supporters in the local area that'll flood the room and everything else. It'll be one man against the world. Well, pretty much what that is now. So what? My first outing as a union representative, I had two supervisors in front of me. Ooh, lunch and a snack is what I thought as I defended a person from egregious punishments. I got them off. One lady got so pissed off she went outside and smoked for an hour, and another one called out sick that day. That's how impactful I was, and that was my first time out. And it didn't diminish my entire time that I was there at the county. So with that being said, the next debate doesn't happen until the 22nd of April, so they claim. Unless the Democrats pull some more shiesty shit, pardon my French, and change things again. Will they allow minority candidates on the stage? That would be DEI if they don't meet the cut. But hey, Republicans should demand some of their minority candidates to come on the stage. I'm one of them. I'm not. It's more than 2 Republicans running. I'm one of the minority candidates. But if you want to have MPP candidates on the stage, Mr. Hilton, be an MPP candidate. Go do your own debate with your own group of people. But you supporting MPP candidates to be on a stage, you're arguing for them to be included? Well, you have other Republicans that you're excluding? I let that one speak for itself. Red flags abound around you, and the more time is coming out, the more they rise. As other people have announced, exposed, explained, and reported. Listening to how you describe minority candidates, and this is California, you supposedly know so much about it. Well, let me give you a little hint. You're kind of flirting with the racist mentality, the way you describe the minority candidates. Oh, you did it so coyly, you didn't even notice how those words left your lips as you described the ethnicities of those candidates. Like a slight tinge of arrogance. Leo, you're reaching. You don't know shit. You don't know. You can't say that. No, I can. Because I was trained in the military to spot and observe crap like that. That's called equal opportunity race relations training. Been there, done that. It's called training in African American culture to be a worker and a case manager for that group of people in Sacramento, California. Been there, done that too. Matter of fact, the interview that I had with those individuals pretty much changed how they even ask questions dealing with the African American culture. I did that. Funny. Client swore up and down I wasn't the guy they were looking for. Well, who are you looking for? We're looking for the African American gentleman named Naranjo. That's me. They were shocked. I'm pretty sure some of you are right about now, too. I go in and out of any crowd I'm with. Most people kind of ignore me. They did that in the military, too. Yeah, just another NCO, E5. Didn't mean shit. Too low in rank. Wasn't impressive. Short guy. Not really bulky. Yeah. They did what they did till I started to speak. And then I got their attention. You don't have to believe me. Do what you do, gentlemen. It'll all pan out in the wash. But you're throwing up some serious red flags. You lied in front of the Pat Nixon group. You made a pledge, but you didn't carry it out. Now I hear you're getting ready to make a 5th agency in government in California. After pledging to reduce government in California. Which part of the lie, which part of the platform was that for them to hear and nobody else to understand because you're going to do what you want to do anyway? That's what rich people seem to think that they can do 24/7, do what they want to do, which is why we're in the boat that we're in now. So, I'll just leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen. Time is drawing super close, and unfortunately, we have not been allowed to vet candidates. There's going to be a plethora of bad news coming out over the next 2 or 3 weeks prior to the GOP convention and shortly after the GOP convention. And why? Because the ballots go out in May, first week. Mail-ins are due starting on the 5th. And then it's 1 month till the final day of voting in June the 6th, I believe. June the 2nd. 6th? 2nd? Got to look at my calendar again. All that time, and we haven't been allowed to vet Jack Diddley. And the Democrats still have a problem because they don't have name recognition like me, and they've been at it for a long time. But for the Democrats that are out there, especially you minority Democrats, you know who I'm talking about, what Steve Hilton calls as the low-performing Democrats. Hey, I got a challenge for you. You want to have a debate? Get your little happy slappies together, the 4 of you, the 5 of you, the 6 of you, however many there are that were whining about minority representation, and let's have a debate. You don't even have to pull in Chad and Steve. I'll take your happy asses on. 1-on-1, 1-on-4, 1-on-6, doesn't matter to me. Because on any given day, given what I've seen and your performance so far, you'll give me all the name recognition I need when we're done with that night. It'll be ignored by the media, but your egos will attest to that ass whipping that you would get. You can call it cocky if you want. I call it confidence. So you guys have a great day. Enjoy the evening. Now that the sun is starting to set, it's a little cooler. My buddy, the hummingbird, isn't here in the corner. Leo Naranjo IV, candidate for governor in California, 2026 race. Hey, Leo Naranjo, the number 4, gov.com. Research it up, look it up, like, donate, comment, and let's do what Roddy Rod Piper said. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. God bless you guys. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.